And welcome back. I made you a promise that I'll find the girl that had the high resolution in her eye. Always I want better, but I'm going to tell you. Now, thank you for watching my YouTube prior. It was a pretty long one. I'd like to go for hours, as you can tell, and I didn't want to give up on it, but I had to because it took a little find. Anyway, let's get into the eye of my woman. The eye of my woman is very, very small. As you can see, if you actually pick a penny out of your pocket and take a look at the top of the toupee area of Lincoln, not the back of his head where his hair would be, but like as if you were to lay a little cup there on top like a toupee, that area is about the size of my woman's eye. Now, this is a low resolution of my woman's eye, this one. But as you can see how it gets kind of blurry, right? So out of that, you're going to see that little white piece here. You're going to see this area and all the area here, and we're going to get into it a little bit with the higher resolution eye. Okay. Now, this eye is the same of the woman, which is the older, more mature Mona Lisa. And what's very, very, very good about it is what you see here alone. If you see this, that's a dog. Okay, whoops, that is a dog. Now I'm going to show you on the dog, which we're talking. This whole dog is probably a grain of sand. I'm going hypothetical, and maybe 2 grains. Okay, and you'll see this guy is in a long robe and he has a crown. I'm going to zoom in for you. Now, this is what was painted in my... Okay. You see that guy? See his eyes? You see his eyes right there, and you see the crown, and here's his dress. Now, each one of this is a face, and this is another face and a body, and these are faces and bodies, and then by the time you're done, excuse me, these are faces and bodies that build a body, and then you have the face. Okay, now what's really cool, okay, because it reminds me of one of my dogs, you'll understand this in a minute, is that this reminds me of a preacher, a pope, a pastor, like in the Vatican. Okay, and then you got this big old fluffy deal guy here that is around here. Okay, this, and when you continue with him, he's actually a 4-legged dog, and it was Leonardo and Melzi's dog, because you see it massive times, thousands of times throughout. And it also represents Melzi, and it also represents Leonardo, and it represents Sali. He was kind of like a Dr. Dolittle cartoon type deal you find in a circus, that you draw out your image of your individual that you love into an animal. But anyway, when you really get into it, these are ears, and these ears become doves, and you got these long legs, and you got the body coming down, and this is in the duck area, or eye duct area of my woman. Now let me kind of downsize this a little. Okay, as you can see, there's the eye. Now I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to show you. Okay, you want to see him flying? He does a lot of flying all the time. Leonardo loved to fly. Look, you see that? No matter which way you turn this, he's flying. This is actually many things. I'm going to back this off a hair because it's kind of there, about right there. And it just needs to be seen on. There's actually like a cat type bat with a big eye and a big eye, ear, and then there's individuals made out of stars, and then like a mouse with a person on the ears, and it goes on. These are all in stars, and you can see they wing walk across. This white image is like a big doggy bone or whatever he might have wanted to bend. It's flying, and it goes this way, and he also goes this way. And if you flip this around or up on top, they're flying anyway and everywhere. You can see these little people. I'm going to zoom in for you. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And these things cannot be seen with the human eye. And these are truly, do you see the cat? Right there, dead center. Two big black eyes right in front of you. Let me loosen this up so it fits in there. Oh. Sorry. See? Eye, cat. Okay. All these are millions and millions of stars. Okay? Okay. Because in between each dark one, okay, is another image. So the black makes a portrait along with many others. Now, let me zoom in on this, which is, I'm not even remotely. Okay. Now, you see nothing, but I see plenty. Because if you pay attention, this is not an accident with these little doodads floating around here of little bodies. And then the main body is a head with a nose and an eye and an eye. And then it comes down with hands and arms and legs. Okay? Because this is a cartoon. We've seen cartoons made out of sticks. We've seen cartoons made out of a leaf. Leonardo da Vinci was one of the greatest cartoonists in the world. The Mona Lisa is built out of cartoons to build portraits. Do you see? Also, look at this. There's an eye, a beak, a chin. Okay? And then there's an eye, a nose, and a mouth. What he does, he builds these like pyramids. So you catch this little section, catch this little section, catch this little section, then you catch this section. The next thing you know, here you got one aiming down this way like a duck. Okay, that's the way he is. He's tricky. Okay, now here comes something else. That's in one of my book too. Let's go to the other eye, if we may. Okay, that's the right eye. Here's the left eye. Now, you see this symbol in front of you? Now, if it wasn't for the show called Pawn Stars, I wouldn't have figured out what this was. This Indian-looking type guy comes on in and he hands this thing that looks like a dream catcher. And he gets a pawn dollars from it that he didn't know what it was, Rick. And he ended up having given him 40, 50 bucks because he wanted to come back and get it because he called it that it gave his house harmony when he hung it over his door. Well, that reminded me, when you get into detail of this, of the harmony. And that's his harmony. It's also his Statue of Liberty. It's also many, many other things, but let me zoom in on it for you. You see the person's face? It's white, but you see it? You see the arm? And how there's a face on the head, and then like a torch in the face, and another body, and it goes endless. And there's like a big bird there, big old black bird, see? And then other birds and animals built in it. These are items you cannot see with the human eye, okay? These are absolutely 100%. Look at that big old brown thing there. What is it? Big old dog or some sort, or a deer or steer, and then it changes again right there if you really, really look at it. Now these items you cannot see too well on your phone. Now if you freeze it and put it in a picture and then blow it up like on a 577 ppi phone, Samsung 6, an iPhone newer within the last 3 years, then you're into something to where you can get into breaking it down. Now let me also show you on top of her head. Okay, you know what that spells? That spells out Leonardo. Okay, Leonardo. Now it's done in code. Here's an L, and then there's an E in the black. You see it? E in diamonds, O, then he has his N, then he has his A in black, And then he has his R that flows. Okay, and then he has his D, and he has his O. Leonardo, and it continues. And there's other letters, if you follow it, over here. Now, when you get into this little trick of his, you can actually see an F in here. And he spells out Francisca. Okay? And then he spells out Da Vinci. And what he does is he just keeps wiping it back and forth in stars, because he was obsessed with his lover. If you actually take a look at my painting, here's another innuendo that I'm going to show you. It's now this, I didn't put this here. Now, he loved her so much. Now, what do you see? Okay. Okay. There's the heart. Right there. That's the heart. You see it? That's the way he is. He gives you these innuendos. That's a heart. Okay? And he puts hearts everywhere. But there's a big one for you to see. Now, we get into the Mona, and there's hearts everywhere too. Because that's him. This thing is loaded with words and hearts and love. If you actually really get into breaking down the face of the Mona, it actually comes out like a lot of women, if you take a look at her brows, which is a lot, and it comes down, is a heart. And then you actually get into more in the backgrounds, you see these innuendo hearts. And he makes faces out of these things. And he make them upside down. Okay, so that's Leonardo da Vinci. He's a trickster in hiding his work of his love. So, anyway, I hope that was a little bit understanding of a little of his work. There's, only 100 billion other things to go on top of it, because there's trillions of deals. Actually, that's an understatement, because if there's trillions, it's got to be more than billions. But anyway, I want you to know that these are not altered. These have not been fabricated for you to be misled or any sort. These are facts. Can't kill the messenger. I hate to use that word. But can't do anything. I'm just only showing. And I want to thank you for the viewing, the subscribing, the great comments. And I want to say God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens. And remember, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I need the financial. I'm working hard. Stay healthy. Amen.